Hello, my friends. You are all invited to discuss the theme today, and the theme today is God. We're going to discuss God according in Spiritism. First of all, we'd like to start thinking about a song written by John Osborne, sang by the band No Doubt, which is this song here, One of Us. And it says, if God had a name, what would it be? And would you call it to his face if you were faced with him in all his glory? And what would you ask if you had just one question? What if God was one of us? Just as love like one of us, just a stranger on the bus, try to make his way home. I'm quite sure all of us, once in our lives, we try to think about it, at least for a couple minutes or seconds. What is God? What consists the Spirit of God? It's got a spirit, it's got a material thing, which is this thing that we discuss so much and we think so much about it. So, according Allan Kardec, the man who actually organized the Spiritism in 5 big books, which one of them is here, the great book of the Spirits book, which is a book about questions and answers, questions that the people made to the spirits, and the spirits answers, of course, according Spiritism. The original one is it in French, as we can see right over there. What is God is the first question of this book, and it says really simple in a couple few words, which is, God is the supreme intelligence, first cause of all things. It doesn't say that God is a spirit. It doesn't say God is a person, not as love, like one of us. Which it says that it's the supreme intelligence, first cause of all things. It creates all things, including us, of course. The second question is, what is to be understood by infinity? That which has neither beginning nor end, the unknown. All that is unknown is infinite. So we start thinking about these concepts to try to understand at least the sense of God. The next question we can see here that is asking, can it be said that God is infinity? We may think that once we don't know God, and infinity is what is unknown for us. Here they say to us, the spirits, an incomplete definition, poverty of human speech, incompetent to define what transcends human intelligence. So actually we don't know exactly what is God, because we miss a lot of concepts and we miss attributes on us that will be needed to understand the real meaning of God. So, basing on that, what proof have we got actually of the existence of God? And the Spirits book tell us that the axiom which you apply in all your scientific researchers is that there is no effect without a cause. We can see that in the third law of Newton, if we're going to study physics. Search out the cause of whatever is not the work of man, and reason will furnish the answer to your question. If we look to the stars, we have to find the one who created them. If we look to the earth, to the human body and all the physiology of it, we're going to start thinking what is the perfection of that, and the perfect thing that actually created that, which is God. So if we have a cause, of course we're going to have an effect. You don't have effect without a cause. If you're going to see the carpenter, right? If you're going to see the table, of course you're going to think about who made it. And the table didn't create itself. So for obvious reasons, we're going to reach the thought that there was somebody who created, who made it, and which is the carpenter. So we may think that God was and is always going to be the carpenter of the whole world. So he created everything. The next question in the Spirits book tells us exactly that. What is to be inferred from the intuition of the existence of God, which may be said to be the common property of the human mind? In all times, we know that everybody always believed in some power, in some existence of something superior than us. So, what we can say about that? That God exists. For whence could the human mind derive the intuition if it had no real basis? The inference to he draw from the fact of this intuition is a corollary of the axiom, there is no effect without a cause. In the next question, we're going to see that he proves this axiom, going back in the history and thinking about the people who actually didn't have even ways of communication between each other. From people to people who used to live abroad or even to far places from their hometowns, how they can communicate and how they can transmit the idea of God if it wasn't something that was in principle in their selves first. So, next question is, may not our seemingly intuitive sense of the existence of God be the result of education and of acquired ideas? That's what we are talking about. And the answer is very clear. If such were the case, how should this intuitive sense be possessed by your savage? So, basing on that, we know that in the beginning of history, of human history, and even of like the minimum sense of life on earth, we have the idea of existence of God. Is the first cause of the formation of things to be found in the essential properties of matter? If such were the case, what would be the cause of those properties? There must always be a first cause. There isn't a cause of the first cause, because if it was true, this thing will be the first cause of all things. That's obvious. What is to be thought of the opinion that attributes the first formation of things to a fortuitous combination of matter, in other words, to chance? We cannot think that the perfection of the world, of the perfection of life, is something created by chance. So, another absurdity, the spirits say. Who that is possessed of common sense can regard chance as an intelligent agent? And besides, what is chance? Nothing. So actually what we're saying that nothing creates everything. What is senseless? Yes, exactly, senseless. And in the next question, we're going to see some things that complete this question. What proof have we that the first cause of all things is a supreme intelligence superior to all other intelligences? You have a proverb which says, the workman is known by his work. Look around you, and from the quality of the work, infer that of the workman. We talked about that earlier, right? About the stars and who made it, remember? So, right now, we're going to specifically talk about the attributes of God. And there they are. Eternal one. God is going to exist forever. If it was not true, the creation would stop. And maybe it would haven't already had stopped before. So there isn't a beginning, there isn't an end. If there isn't a beginning and an end, we can say that this thing is God. Unchangeable. If it was, if God could change all the time, it wouldn't have any unique laws for that. So, basing on that, we can say that God and God's laws are unchangeable. Immaterial. If God was a material thing, He couldn't be in all of the places, all over the world and all over the universe, or even more, or even further, that we don't know yet. So, God can be one of His creations, the materia. He's unique. If there is more than one God, the laws would not be unchangeable, and He wouldn't be unchangeable as well. We can think that He's unique once His laws rules everything. And if there is even two gods that are the same, they will be actually one single God. So based on that, we conclude that God is unique and all-powerful. He has the power, to create everything, to be everywhere. So with that, we can say He's all-powerful. Sovereignty, just, and good. God in all His laws. All that works in our lives, in the universe, is based on justice and good. We can't think that God is a bad thing and He's gonna punish us for something. Once basing on this concept that He's good and just, all that happens with us is on the knowledge of God. And then all that happens with us is for our own good. As a father wants a good for its son, God also wants the good for us. And here we have a poem that expresses a little bit of what is God for us, the greatest artist. God is the greatest artist, to whom no one can compare. Striking sunsets very beautiful, painting rainbows in the air. Brushing green the hillside scene, blotting blue the sky above, splashing flowers across the ground beneath, shading white clouds with His glove. Of the wonders God has made, there is none that is so fair as the smile He paints upon your face when you realize He's there. From Auta. So here now we end our discussion about God, and I hope you enjoyed being with us, and we're going to wait for you in the next discussion. Thank you a lot for your attention. See you next time.